Hello, I'm John from CGTN Digital, and we're broadcasting live from Anhui province on 5 different platforms today from iFlyTek, one of China's leading AI firms. You'll see the logo right behind me now. We're broadcasting on Weibo, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on the CGTN app, which you can download at your readiness. And also, you can download the app to check out our new technology section, which will have loads of information about the kind of things which we're going to see here today, which is a focus on voice technology and how that plays into AI. So we're in Hefei, which is in Anhui province, central China, as I said, and it's very famous for its science university, the Science and Technology University of China. And that's where 6 people who founded this company studied. So in 1999, they set up iFlyTek. That's 18 years ago. And over that time, it's grown into the leading company for voice and speech technology in China, and has a range of products which we're going to take a look at today in a special display center, which is just up these stairs now. So AI is a very broad subject, of course, and it's taking more and more a part of our life, from autonomous cars to big data. It's hugely important, and it's only going to play a more important role in our everyday lives. And that's some of the things that we're going to see today, how they work into our lives. And it's such a broad subject that it's split into many, many subsections, one of which is natural language processing. And that's the one which is particularly relevant to the features we're going to see. So right at the end of this corridor, you're going to have a look inside. Oh, and there's a slogan here, "Let the world listen to us," which is very relevant, obviously, to the subject we're talking about. We can have a quite quick glimpse inside at a tour group going on here too, having a look at some of the products that we're going to be testing out ourselves in the minutes ahead. Eventually we're going to get to the exhibition center, which has got all sorts of different gadgets and kind of things which are really going to play an important part of our lives in terms of translation and voice recognition and voice synthesis. So it's basically how humans and machines interact with one another, and how that's going to play a major part in our lives over the years and decades to come. So we're going to talk to some experts and also find out more about the machines themselves. And to help us do that is Vivian, who works for iFlyTek. So hello, Vivian.
Hi, Joy.
Thank you. Would you like to lead us inside?
Oh, yeah, sure. This way, please.
So what are we going to take a look at first?
Okay, so to give you guys an idea of what speech technologies are, so let's take a look at this video, which makes use of the speech synthesis technology we have here at iFlyTek. Oops.
Oh, okay. So we have Barack Obama up here.
Yes.
About to speak.
Hi, everybody. Today we are here to see how AI has been changing our lives. I've even been thinking of my new career after the book, and I found iFlyTek HyperBrain. 在讯飞超脑的帮助下，我学会了中文。我坚信，在中国，科大讯飞。
So he wasn't really speaking Chinese.
No. So what we actually did was that we recorded about 4 hours of his public speeches, and then the machine actually learned how he speaks, his voice print, his accents, and then we input the text, both English and Chinese. So the machine then generated the audio for us. So we can actually make President Obama speak in all kinds of languages, like French, Spanish, Hindi even, any language that we want him to speak in.
Okay, and how will this be used practically?
Sorry?
To actually use this for a purpose beyond...
Okay. So what we have right now, for example, in the company, we have education products, and with the speech synthesis technology, it actually allows the students to learn proper English or Chinese. So instead of, when some teachers from the rural areas, they tend to have accents, that's one challenge that we have overcome with this speech synthesis technology. Yeah, so that's
okay,
one.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's an interesting start to the exhibition, and my eye is caught by these maps here.
Okay,
all kinds of different apps down this side.
Yes, so these two screens actually show data from our iFlyTek AI open platform. So what we have on the platform are the codings for our speech technology and artificial intelligence core technologies. So we allow third-party developers, other companies, to download the codes from our platform and come up with these mobile.
Created with the help of your technology.
Yes. So all of them make use of our speech technologies. For example, we have Tencent QQ, Sina Weibo, and we have DD as well. So all these, they can use our speech recognition technology.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've got some big names up there.
Thank you.
Using your software?
So this is the total number all over China. So it's over 400,000, and then this is the number of apps that have already been developed, and you saw that the number actually went up. So that's
changing all the time.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, and this one is showing the actual number of people
Using.
Okay.
So the apps, so this is the number of end users.
Okay.
We call it. This scrolling number here is actually the number of online interactions from 12 a.m. last night.
So we've got over 300 million users in China in just 24 hours. That's pretty amazing.
It's actually less than 24 hours. So it's 10 a.m. So it's 10 hours.
Oh, since last night? Okay.
Last night, 12 a.m.
Wow, so in just 12 hours.
This number here is the offline interactions for the last 24 hours.
Okay, that's 3 billion.
Yes.
Wow, that's impressive.
And this percentage is actually the success rate of all the interactions, whether online or offline. So it's above 99%.
Okay, and this is the density inside China, but I know you work in international sales. Do you have an outreach outside of China as well?
So for now, our international business development, we are focused on the automobile system. So we're going to take a look at that later on. We actually have collaborators from the European countries like Volkswagen and Mercedes. So, and also in Japan, so we have Nissan and Toyota. And then for our education products, we actually have users in Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, so all around the world.
Yes, and we're hoping that there will be more countries coming in.
Sure.
So yeah, we have a project in Ethiopia that we're hoping that we'll get.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Okay, so should we take a look at the next display?
Okay, sure.
What have we got here?
So yeah, other than the third-party developer apps that we have, iFlyTek also has its very own mobile apps. So these are all our very own apps. These two are the most popular ones. So it's iFly Input and Lingxi Voice Assistant, which is our version of Apple Siri.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, so my colleague is gonna show you guys how
Hello.
these two apps work. Let's take a look first at iFly Input. So this is the interface for our iFly Input. So the keyboard allows for honey, and it also allows for handwriting input. So just write. You can write directly on the keyboard, and as you can see, you don't even have to stop between each character. So everything's continuous and comes out. And other than these two ways of input, we actually have voice input as well. So let's take a look.
Okay.
I'm so honored to have this opportunity to attend this meeting.
Thank you. So other than voice input, we actually have the translation function. So this is...
Sure.
So, okay, let's...
You can try.
Oh, can I do the maybe the voice?
Okay, of course. You can press this button and you say some words.
Okay. So this one. CGTN is broadcasting live from Anhui province for an entire week. Keep watching. almost perfect.
So,
Maybe
yeah,
that was my fault.
Well, because our products are mainly trained for the Chinese accent.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have a lot of Chinese users, so the data
Sure.
all come from within China. So we're hoping that we'll get more international accents.
Over time.
Yes.
And with this, so what I just said, could you then translate that into Chinese using this app?
So we can't do, so if the text has already been typed out,
Okay.
we can't do translation, but you can actually do translation while speaking. So let's first take a look. So English to Chinese.
Thanks for your cooperation.
So the Chinese comes out.
Okay. Can I try?
Yeah, you can try.
Okay. Serena, can you translate this for me and tell me if it's correct? So Serena is with the camera and she's going to tell us whether the translation is right.
Yeah, I think it got a perfect translation.
Okay, so it works well. And you had two apps here you were going to show us, I think.
Yes. So the next app is actually Lingxi. So like I mentioned, it's actually our version of Siri. So you can make calls with it. You can send text messages or search for contents on the internet. Let's take a look.
Is this widely used in China now? Is it on most people, like Siri is on everyone's
Yes.
Apple?
This app is actually, it can be downloaded for free on the Apple iOS as well as the Android market. So we do have a lot of users actually using them. So these are the most basic way for us to collect data from. Okay. So yeah, so because it's pretty similar to.
Okay, and we're going to move on to smart home.
Smart home, yes, the smart home appliances. So first we have our smart speaker. It's called Ding Dong. This is actually the world's second smart speaker.
Ding Dong?
Yeah, right
Okay.
after Amazon Echo. So let's take a look.
Ding dong ding dong，来一首 Justin Bieber 的歌。
Okay. How are you?
叮当叮当，叮当叮当
Justin Bieber doesn't want to go.
，Justin Bieber 的歌。Do you know
抱
some
歉，
songs
没有
yet？
找到你想要的。
叮当叮当，
试试。
叮当叮当，来一首 Michael Jackson 的歌。
Michael Jackson, you are not alone.
Yeah, so
Okay, so it doesn't just do music, right? It has more function.
actually control smart home appliances with it, like the curtains and the lamp and the air conditioner.
Okay.
So let's try.
叮当叮当，把窗帘关闭。
好的，已
Wow.
将您的窗帘关闭。
So it's like a headquarters for the whole home.
Yes, so you can place it in the corner of your living room, and then when you come back home, just wake it up using the wake up words ding dong, and it will do the commands that you want it to
赵
do.
天歌
Oh.，
感恩。
So I actually woke it up.
You confused it.
Yes, it's
Okay.
confused.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay, so you're watching CGTN Digital at a voice technology company in Anhui Province. And if you have any questions about voice technology or about AI in general, then we have two experts here, and we have two more experts, including the person who has helped design some of these machines, coming up in a few minutes' time. So if you have questions, send them in on Weibo, on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, or on our app, and we can get back to you live in the show, or if not, afterwards. But now we're going to take a look at the next display, which I believe is going to be the health displays over here. I'm no great expert here, but I'm told that this is going to be a revolutionary technology to help doctors to determine cancerous cells, which I think Vivian is going to come over to us and explain a tiny bit more about in a second. But it's already being used in hospitals in Anhui.
Yes, it's actually being tried out in the Anhui hospitals and some of the Beijing hospitals. So this is actually our smart healthcare system. So what we're working on here is the lung cancer diagnosis. So what our system does is that it compiles the CT scans of a patient's lungs and then recognizes the nodules that are present inside the lungs, and then from there diagnose whether the nodules are malignant or benign. So these blue squares show that mean that the nodules are benign, and the red ones are malignant nodules. So it saves the doctors a lot of time.
And it's actually in use at the moment already in a trial.
Yes, trial
Okay.
period, yes.
Okay, great. Oh, it's a good example of how the technology is used for useful but less vital stuff, but also has a real purpose
Yes.
for life. Okay, and do we have an interviewee?
Yes. So this is our technician, I would say, engineer actually. So
Okay.
he has been involved in a lot of these technologies and making all these products. So any questions?
Okay,
He's
nice
the
to meet you.
expert.
John.
You too.
Okay. So how long typically does a product such as, say, the speaker here take to develop?
一个产品大概每一个产品大概需要多长时间才能做好？就是比如说一个那个叮咚，大概多长时间？
这个就是可能各个产品的生命周期不太一样，但是就是我们比如像叮咚音箱这种产品，是因为我们在语音识别这一块积累了很多年的时间，可以说就是我们做语音识别可能已经有超过10年的时间，然后前面很长的时间都是一些技术积累，然后真正叮咚音箱从正式产品发布大概在15年左右。就是我们总共可以说技术积累有10几年的时间，但是做产品的话可能花了1到2年的时间。
Okay, we're going to get a quick translation.
Okay, so what he said was that because we have always been working on the core technologies, like for example the speech recognition that is being used in the speakers. So for the technologies, we have been working on them for over 10 years. And then just making the product itself took about just 1 or 2 years. So just the designs and the parts that we wanted to go in. But because the technology is the main selling point, I would say, so everything added together, over 10 years, yeah.
Okay, over 10 years. And China is a leading company in AI leading country in AI around the world, and this is one of the leading companies. How do you judge China's progression in the AI industry?
中国在 AI 这个产业的那个发展，你觉得是什么样的一个现状吧？
OK，我觉得中国在人工智能这一块，目前已经处于世界的一个领先的水平。举个例子，比如说在语音识别这一块，我们的讯飞语音输入法目前在很多的领域已经达到完全实用的一个程度。我们讯飞输入法的正确率可能已经超过了95%左右，而且我们发布语音也是算是全世界首次发布的，所以说在语音识别这个领域，应该来说已经走在世界的领先的角度。然后另外在其他的一些行业，比如说在一些认知智能的方面，其实我们这些年也做了很多的工作，可以说在一些认知智能的一些特定领域，比如说像是机器翻译。比如说，像是我们应用于呼叫中心的客服机器人，比如说我们应用于医疗领域的一些其他的一些产品，这些认知智能的技术也已经走在了世界的前列。
Okay, and if you could give us a quick translation, that would be
Yeah,
great.
so we have been progressing very rapidly, especially in China. So we would say that the AI technologies in China is actually at a leading position all over globally, all over the world. And then, like for example, for speech recognition, that's the perceptive intelligence part. Like our open platform, that this is the world's first open platform. That's And then for cognitive intelligence, for example, uses in the smart healthcare, like we mentioned just now. So that's where machines can understand and think on their own. So we are actually at a leading position as well. So that's pretty big progression since
We have a question from one of our watchers online. I'm just going to get it up now. It's about the machine here, the translation service. And somebody on Weibo has asked, how do you make it able to recognize different dialects of Chinese?
OK， 说的是那个机器翻译的是这样的，就是我们机器翻译的这个设备主要是通过语音和通过机器翻译能够实现人与人之间的，特别是操不同的语言人之间的相互交流。比如说我是中国人，然后另外一个人是英国人，那我可以说中文，然后中文翻译成英文，然后对方呢是从英文翻译成中文，这样可以无障碍的交流。您刚才提到的方言的问题，其实我们现在讯飞语音已经支持了22种中国的方言，也就是说我们在很多的方言上已经支持的非常好。虽然没有完全达到普通话的识别的水平，但是其实我们在很多方言上已经能够达到跟普通话一样比较好的一个交流，让机器能够理解。
So maybe he misunderstood the question, or maybe I didn't translate the question correctly, but let me answer that question. So what we actually do background when it comes to recognition is that we collect data all over China. So for the dialects, we collect those people speaking, and then from there.
So you record people from across China.
Yes, we do that, and then when people use our applications, sometimes when they speak, we do the machine actually does recognize that it's actually in dialect, and so that's one way that we collect data, and then from there the machine goes through deep learning, a process of deep learning to understand each word that the dialect speaking person actually said, and then from there with the gathering of more data it gets even more accurate.
So it's really all about big data, just the amount of data you can gather. Okay, maybe we can ask one final question. Which products which you had a hand in developing are you most proud of? Which is the most important to you?
你觉得就是你参与就是制作的哪一个产品是你觉得最自豪的？
我这几年可能参与最多的一个产品就是这边的讯飞听见产品。讯飞听见把你说的语音转换成文字，对，就是这款产品，就是它主要的功能是把你说的语音转换成文字，就是我们简单的理解的语音识别，就是让人具有听的能力。那么同时的话，我们可以看出来，我们在说中文的同时，我们也可以把中文翻成其他的语种，以更方便的让大家来交流。那么这款产品为什么我觉得是好？因为方面与其他的行业应用的比较紧密的地方，比如说我们在司法领域，我们用这款产品的话，可以帮助书记员记录庭审的笔录。这样的话，不仅可以节省书记员的时间，而且我们可以使得这个笔录的记录更加的完整。同时，我们这款产品也可以应用于像医疗行业、像教育行业。比如在教育行业的话，我们可以帮助老师将他的微课转换成文字，然后这样的话，我们的内容就从非结构化变成一个结构化的内容，可以便于后面的内容检索或者是内容管理。
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so he said that he's actually most proud of this product. So he has been involved in many different products, but this is the one that he has been working on the most. It's called iFlyTek, which is actually a real-time dictation system. So you speak Chinese, and then the typewritten words come out on the screen. So it's actually being used in Supreme Courts and high courts all over China. So that saves stenographers a lot of time instead of having to transcribe their notes after after court has And then other than for court usage, it can be used in hospitals where doctors can just speak and then the diagnosis report comes out, and then also in education where sometimes teachers, they make videos of their classes, and then with our system the words that the teachers say can actually be transcribed into script for the students. Yeah.
Okay, great. So yeah, it's a good example of how voice technology is really playing a bigger part in our lives, and will do in the time to come. I think we're going to leave Mr. Gao now, and she can have another look at some more exhibitions. But thank you very much. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you. So we're going to move on to another display.
Sure, of course. But we actually have the general manager of our marketing department here.
Oh, okay.
Miss Ren.
Oh, great. Okay.
Do you want to do?
Sure. Should
Okay.
we stand over by over here maybe? Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm John.
I'm Ping Ping.
Ping Ping. Okay, good to meet you. Thank you for talking to us today. We were wondering how. What's the secret to its success so far?
他大概理解了一下，应该是问我 TTS 是一个什么
怎么发展成这么大的一个这个语音的公司啊？是有什么秘诀？
我们公司成立18年了，然后我们一直专注于智能语音和人工智能技术。那讯飞的前身是中国科技大学的人机语言实验室，那这个实验室在80年代初就开始从事智能语音的研究。
Okay.
So iFlyTek, before iFlyTek was founded, the founding members were actually all graduated from the University of Science and Technology. So they were already working on speech technologies even during their university years. So from there, they so that's what makes us us.
Okay, good answer. And if we could just ask quickly about your overseas imprint, because we're broadcasting overseas at the moment around the world. And I know you're very successful in China. And Vivian slightly answered this question earlier. But could you tell us which overseas markets are most important to you, and which ones you're now?
重要的，然后还有接下来有什么国外的这个计划？
我现在在国外几个方面，第一个方面呢，就是我们在新加坡，那新加坡的中文很多的学校都用了我们的中文学习平台和我们的评测平台，这是一个方面。第二个方面，您也看到了现在比较火的一个翻译机，翻译机是为了解决人与人之间因为语言不通的沟通障碍问题，所以我们现在已经做了中英之间的翻译。那接下来我们会做日语。未来，因为我们的技术会让人与人之间因为语言不通的沟通障碍问题会解决。那还有一个就是我们在孔子学院，就全球有400多家孔子学院都用了我们的中文的学习的平台和我们的评测的平台3个方面。
Okay, so we already have students in Singapore using our education products, which we'll see later on. So that's mainly for the teaching as well as the speech evaluation. So that's one of the most important areas that we're working on right now for overseas. And then something else that we're working on is our translation machine. So right now we already have Chinese-English translation. We're also going to work on other languages like Japanese, Korean, Spanish, and French. And then the third thing that we're working on is actually they're also using our Chinese teaching and learning.
I think we have a question from one of our viewers now as well. Oh, several questions. Let me have a look and see which one is best for you. One person on Facebook has asked about your rivals. So are there other companies in China which are working on similar products to you?
就是在中国还有
OK，其实我们比如说纽昂斯这个，就是给 C 委员跟他在有一些领域，比如说在但是我们更有信心做到我们的中文语音合成、语音识别是中国人做的最好。
OK，那国内的一些竞争对手，
有一些，比如说在有很多就是的应用呢，可能它的竞争对手不一样。比如说在输入法的领域，我们讯飞有5个，可能是搜狗比如说在一些这个医疗领域，可能有相应的在医疗领域的这个专属的这个领域的竞争对手。那比如说在一些图像识别技术上，那可能跟菲斯加加我们会有一些在技术上的一些竞争。
Okay, so for inside China, the rivals that we have many rivals because there are so many products that we're working on, all these different fields, and we just saw. The biggest rival is actually Sogo. Sogo, they have their own input as well. And then for maybe the smart healthcare, we have our rivals as well. And maybe for image recognition, like the face recognition, there's this company called Face Plus Plus. So they're our biggest rival for that. And then when it comes to overseas, actually the speech provider for Siri previously, I think. And then we are actually competing with them in the automotive product. We show you guys later on.
Let's check. We've got some other nice questions here. They're mostly about overseas markets, which you answered already. So I think we can leave those ones now. Okay. But thank you very much for speaking to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And I think, should we take a look at the autonomous car?
Okay, so let's go on to what we call the intelligence automotive.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
So
Okay, so you've got a car mocked up here and screens around, and I think we're going to get a display in a second of how you can operate the car sitting in the driver's seat but without actually touching anything, so purely by speech. And we're getting Vivian and her other assistant back to help us show this one.
Okay, so this is actually an in-car infotainment system. Sit in this? Oh, okay, please.
Oh, I've been told I need to sit in it. Do you want to?
Yeah, sure, of course. Okay, so this system actually allows the drivers to operate without their hands. So everything is done by speech. And it allows the driver to actually request for some radio or a specific address or a specific destination, and the navigation system comes online as well. So first, let's take a look at how this system works.
Okay. So we're going to have a quick example now.
Okay.
So what's first?
Sorry.
What do we do first?
We can request a song.
Okay.
Okay. 小爱你好，来一首周杰伦的歌。
Behind you. Things are happening.
Do you know
Jay Chou.
Jay Chou?
He's a famous singer in
Ah, yeah. I know.
Chinese
Taiwan.
thing. Yeah.
Okay, so it saves you fiddling with the controls as you're driving.
Yeah. And we also can ask her do some navigation.
Okay.
我想去三校口附近的咖啡厅。
So you're looking for coffee?
Yeah. Coffee.
的咖啡厅20条结果。
第二个
选第几个？已选择咖啡陪你，经在路店，即将
I
开
choose
始导
one
航。
coffee shop.
Okay, so it's going to direct us there now.
Yeah, we can go
Okay, so
here.
the map is
Yeah.
up here, and we get it down here as well on the dashboard.
Yeah. And then we also can do some make a call with our friends. 打电话给周家峰。 I make call to my
打
college.
电话给周家峰，确定还是取消？
取消。
已经取消了。
Okay, it's the operations.
And these are all
Yeah,
automotive
so-
firms that you work with?
So these car makers are all working with us. These are mainly the Chinese brands, but we have overseas brands like Toyota, Lexus, Nissan also working with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to, comfy seat, but I'm going to get out. We're going to move on to, are these your educational products?
Yes.
Okay.
So here we have our and handwritten answer scripts.
Okay. So we scan in like exam paper, and then it literally.
And then what happens later on is that you can the machine does the grading for the teachers.
Machine grades the exam.
Yes. So it grades the exams for the teachers. You can tap on this.
So what kind of, are these purely, say, maths, mathematics?
So right now we have this system for Chinese and English exams, but we're actually launching the auto marking system for sciences and.
Okay, so it can judge the standard of English, of grammar and that kind of thing. That's how.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So.
We need to use the mouse.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So yeah, you gotta
So
click on.
click on the paper.
Yeah. So you can. So this is multiple choice questions. So the grading for that has been done for many years.
Yeah.
So the new thing is let's click on this. This.
Okay.
So this is close message. So filling in the blanks. So what happens is that this is the student's answers. It's this machine actually converts the handwritten text to compares it to the standard answers.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then that's the results.
Okay.
So ticks.
So
and
they did
crosses.
okay. Not great. Okay.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it's 12 out of 30.
So these are for youngest kids doing language tests.
We actually have this system being used in the CET exam. That's the college English test for university students. Yeah, so this
Okay.
system is already being used.
Great. Okay, should we do very quick here and then we'll move on to the robot, which I
Okay,
know
so-
Serena's very keen on.
Yeah, so okay, this is our teaching system. So the main selling point of our teaching system is actually the speech evaluation technology. Okay, let me do this. Okay, so we can actually do speech evaluation.
Oh, shall I do it?
Or-
You go first.
You want to eat?
We'll see
You
who's
wanna
better.
try
You
it?
can start.
Okay, okay.
So what happens here is that we record the speaker's voice reading these words, and the evaluation system actually tells you how well the speaker said.
Dinner, English, music, class.
Okay, so that's the grading for her pronunciation. So John, would you like to give it a try?
Yeah, this could be
Okay.
embarrassing though.
Okay, it's
Breakfast, lunch, dinner.
okay.
You don't need to concentrate on the bad one.
Okay, let's see
Oh,
what
sorry.
went wrong here.
Sorry.
Oh,
Maybe you can
sorry.
try again.
You want to try it?
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, English, music, class.
Huh.
Wow, I'm getting worse.
Why? Is there an evaluation or something?
Yeah. You want to see
my northern English accent comes out with class. Maybe that's the problem.
So we have speech evaluation for English and Chinese, so that helps students learn proper pronunciation. So yeah, that's what we
Okay,
have.
not improper like mine. Okay, let's move on to the robot. Sure. So we have
This model here is being used in banks as a lobby manager. So clients, customers can go up to her and say, okay, what's the newest financial products available? So she acts as a navigation kind of robot for you. So let's take a look.
and it's broadly used now. You could
Yes.
go into a bank in China and find it.
We have many banks, like I think the Bank of China and the Construction Bank, using this model.
Okay, let's take a look.
Okay. 小曼你好。小曼你好。
Oh, it's gone to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh,
小曼你好。
The car started talking now. Oh well, maybe we can check out this one. This is your newest product, I think.
Okay, so this one over here. Sorry about that glitch over there. Okay, so this one over here, we call it the AI UI. So it actually allows for full duplexity. So that means when you're having conversation with it, it's just the same as speaking with a human. So you don't have to, like what we saw for the car. It was every single time. So every single time for the car and the speaker, every time we want to say a command, we have to say the wake up word. And then, but for this, our newest system, you just have to wake it up once, and then the conversation just continues.
So it's like a real human-computer interaction.
Yes, that's
flowing.
that. This is our newest system that we hope will be used in our new products, our future products, as well as our automotive systems.
Okay.
So
So it's in a kind of development stage, but almost ready to roll out.
Yes.
Okay,
So
and we
let's take a look.
a quick example. Okay.
小飞，小飞，帮我订一张明天去北京的机票。
您想从哪个城市出发？
合肥。
为您找到30班各班次。
东方航空的。
明天7点40为您找到10个班次。
So I think we're booking a flight.
3点40分为您找到5个班次。
看一下火车吧。
明天11点50为您找到19个车次。
2等座。
明天8点14为您找到15个车次。
最便宜的。
推荐明天为您找到 G266。
确定预定。
确定预定，输入您的手机号码。
15695624399。
您的号码为156。
156改为151。
是否您的号码为1519562。
4399改为2699。
是否确认订票？您的号码为15195622699。是否确认订票？
确认预定。
已订购，祝您愉快。
Booked?
yeah.
Wow, that was quick. Okay. So I think we're going to wrap things up at this point with the new technology. But it was a great example of how voice tech is going to be used to improve and speed up things in our lives and create probably huge and fundamental changes to the way that we interact. So we're going to wrap things up now. Please feel free to leave more comments on Weibo, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on the app. And finally, thank you to Vivian over there, and also her assistant, and our other two interviewees, Mr. Gao and Ping Ping. And you can join us again tomorrow for another live stream, this time at the Huangmei Opera in Anqing in Anhui. But for now, thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.